رحمن يا رحيم.
And we're back. Welcome to the show, News and Views on Salam Media. It's now 14 minutes past 9 a.m. Central African time. And as promised earlier on, we are definitely going to be holding a conversation around Operation Dudula's registration as a political party. And joining me now is Jalaika Latib from Kopenhagen, Africa Against Xenophobia. Assalamu alaikum, Juma Mubarak. Thank you for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam and Jummah Mubarak to the viewers and to you as well, brother. Jazakallah.
All right, so Operation Dudula, we know what they stand for, or the image that they've been projecting over the past few years of their existence. And of course, now they are taking the next major step to register as a political party. We learned this earlier this week. So the party, of course, first emerged in Joburg uh, and claims to have a widespread support with a formal presence in 7 of South Africa's 9 provinces. It claims to be planning to stand candidates in 1,500 of the country's 4,468 voting districts next year. Big news for Operation Dudula. It's a major step for them. But of course, concerns of xenophobia, especially regarding the sentiment that they have been spreading since their inception. What do you make of this?
Um, it's it's very tricky at the moment for especially the migrant issue, as Operation Dudula had a plan from the day they started burning people and killing people, and especially I'm talking the migrants on the ground. They had a plan, and they had to show that it doesn't work to work with people from other countries, and that was there was always that spread of hate and victimizing and so on. So, as a political party, I want to ask Operation to do that. What do you think about people? Do you not like people? Because we all come from all ways of life. I mean, right now the migrant issue is it's like a scapegoating issue. Everything gets blamed onto the migrants. You never hear the good side of migrants. You always hear the bad side of migrants. So we all know the socio-economic issues in South Africa is dire. And if you take people off the streets, especially I'm coming from from the informal sector side. If you look at the people on the streets at the moment, Johannesburg was not designed for informal street traders. We all know the city was designed for big corporations. And we know exactly the country is only thinking of doing better for the economics of other countries coming into our country. And then what we call those people that are coming from other countries investing into our country, especially when BRICS was also part of the most recent. And we all know that BRICS wasn't here to change our livelihood, but to come in here and take over our country and get rid of people from other countries. We talk about Pan-Africanism. Even our government speaks about Pan-Africanism. But what is Pan-Africanism? During the time of apartheid, as I know, I'm also a product of apartheid. We also had the previous apartheid government, which trampled on Black South Africans. And we also needed help from our neighboring countries, and they were there with us. But today, lest we forget where we come from. And when we think about the issue about color of skin, that goes deep. Now we are looking at black on black. And then we're also looking down on how we were rooted. I mean, if you look, I hail from Kliptown. And in Kliptown, we lived side by side. There was no discrimination. Colors were together. But the apartheid has actually proven that now we are throwing this onto people. I mean, black people. I call it black because a foreigner can be white as well. But we don't look at, we say a foreigner, if a person comes from another country, he is not regarded as a foreigner, he's white in color. He's called a tourist. But it is very sad. As coming from apartheid, I thought South Africa was going to be a better country, but it's getting worse and worse. And the current government has done absolutely nothing. And there is a lot of scapegoating going on at the moment. Why can't we learn from each other? Why can't we interlink? Why can't we create Pan Africanism? We do not talk about Pan Africanism. We had a World Cup, and the World Cup was one of the things that was supposed to bring us closer. We built big, big stadiums. I don't know for what. They're white elephants right now. What have we proven as a country? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What I'm saying is, how far are we going to go to kill people and hurt people? Operation Dudula has only one mandate, is to get rid of black people. Because I call it they're black on black. Their xenophobia is black on black. And
Mm,
even now, after 30 years that we are in South Africa, I mean, in the democracy of South Africa, people have married people from the neighboring countries. So what do you do with your child? You cut your child in half and put it half in South Africa and half in Malawi or in other countries. We really need to look at and redress what way is South Africa going to. I'm very, very
mm,
traumatized of what's happening, especially the most recent victims that were burnt alive in what you call it, Marshall Street. I'm still traumatized by what I've seen. People need counseling. We cannot even house people. People are sitting around without documentation. If you look at the sad part of our country, this country wasn't built the way it is at the moment. And it's only scapegoating migrants. We can
mm,
learn from each other. We can help each other. And as a Muslim, for me, humanity comes first. Inshallah, I'm saying today's Jummah. May Allah grant all those people, especially mothers, brothers, sisters, give them the chance to sit on their musalla today and ask for forgiveness. Let's not hate our Muslim brothers and sisters from other countries, or even whether they're Muslim or not. Let us treat
mm.
people with dignity and respect because Islam teaches us humanity. And this is where I stand. I'm not a politician. I'm willing to help anybody that I possibly can. But I want our country to grow together, and inshallah, it will if we put ourselves to help others. And that
Mm.
is where I stand. Sakra.
Yeah. No, I think that also relates to the little chat we had before coming on air, where you said that, this is a political issue, and when you look at it from a political lens, there's many angles that you could look at this, and I actually spoke about this earlier on in the show, where you've got people on one side saying, well, we need to protect South African interests. First of all, I'm not entirely sure how you come to define who is a South African, what is a South African. But regardless of that, I think on one side you've got people saying we need to protect South African interests. It's currently being jeopardized by an immigration wave, and this immigration, as I mentioned earlier on in the show as well, stems from various sources and for various reasons. People wishing to come to South Africa, and I think not the least of which is to find better opportunities. Now, on the other hand, you've got people saying, well, okay, let them come in. They've got a lot to contribute to the community, to the country. And as a country that has struggled with many issues recently, we could help each other and use that expertise and skills that they might have to share with us. But for you, as you mentioned before we came on air, this is more a humanitarian issue than it is a political issue for yourself first.
The reason is I say it's a humanitarian issue. I never imagined myself to be 1 week in Johannesburg. I come from Malaysia, but I took time to actually see what was really going on the ground. Right now, I need to be counseled myself because I've never seen such devastation in my whole life. I never imagined myself to be in that position where I saw people helpless and people blamed that they are not people, they are not human beings. I mean, where has that the humanity gone to? I mean, you know what? Our Muslim community also they try to help. I mean, but not enough. Not enough has been done because we have a problem here. We have Muslims, and I'm talking about Muslims. The situation that they are living on at the moment in the shelters. Yeah, and it's not conducive at all. I saw a little child of a toddler. The toddler actually came up to me and she hugged me And I saw her, one sock was off and one shoe was on. And that little child, it took me back. Yeah, now what are we doing? A little child needs help, and we train people away from our country. I mean, for me, it's very emotional. I can't deal with the emotional side of it, that we are no longer humankind anymore. I don't know what we have turned out to be. I always
Mm.
thought South Africa, I mean, the first time I voted in South Africa, I mean, the first time I got to vote, I thought it was going to be for the better. But I don't know now. The next time that I'm going to go and vote again, who am I going to vote for? Because I don't see humanity anymore. Yalla, net is where I put it. Inshallah, I just hope we can reach out to other people as well, because we
Mm.
really need to see ourselves from where we are.
Yes, and now, of course, this is coming ahead of the elections in 2024. So, Operation Dudula has registered as a political party, and as I said earlier on, they do intend on contesting these elections, at least in 1,500 voting districts. How do you see this impacting immigrants in the country?
Yeah, yes, of course, there's going to be a huge impact. It will be an impact on the immigrants of the country. And we have never ever spoken to immigrants on television to ask them their side of how they feel. The thing is, it's only a one-sided. I think, you know, I must be honest with you, brother. I have been, I work in the city of Johannesburg. I help people on the streets, and I don't ask a cent from anybody. I've never been robbed. Nothing has ever been taken away from me. There is humanity out there. Yeah, people say people are bad. People are not bad. Because if you greet somebody, you expect respect back. But if you treat people in a bad way, you're going to get badness back. So it's good on good. Bad is going to be on bad. Not everybody is bad, and not every immigrant is bad. We need to sit down. We need to have a dialogue to find out what is going on. Why are we feeling like this? The social cohesion that was supposed to happen after apartheid, it didn't happen. We still have this thing of tribalism. We have issues of hate speech. We have issues of color. Even religion. All those things have not been redressed. We don't trust each other, even as neighbors. I mean, I see neighbors today, they don't even care about each other. Yet in a time when we were together as a country that was looking towards democracy, we were different. We embraced with every color. But today we don't see that. We have lost it as South Africans. Really, we have lost it. I don't know what else to say. I'm
Mm.
just not happy what I see.
And I suppose that is the kind of situation that allows us to reach this point where we've got these groups now gaining traction and prominence. And I think it would be interesting to see how Operation Tadula's candidacy and intention to contest in the elections next year pans out. Certainly, an area I'm sure you will be focusing on, especially in regards to the impact and the consequences that that might have for immigrants in the country, be they legal or illegal. Um, but nonetheless, I think let's leave it there for now. Shukran so much for your time.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. That, of course, was Jalaika Latib from Kapanang, Africa, against xenophobia, speaking to us about the potential, the xenophobic consequences of organizations like Operation Dudula proliferating and gaining traction in the country. We see earlier this week that particular organization had actually registered as a political party for the first time. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we continue with the show. Please do stay with us.